Well, hello there, beautiful friends, and welcome to my Philly studio. I'm Kat, artist and artpreneur, and today I want to talk to you about something that you're probably wondering if you want to become a full-time artist or a full-time creative entrepreneur. Maybe it's your dream to leave your day job, or maybe you have been working your way up to this point and you're just in the early stages. No matter where you are in the journey, I know when I was starting out, this was such a mysterious topic for me and no one was talking about it, no one was sharing it. And it felt like, based on what I learned in art school, that either you become a professor and get a day job that's in the arts, or you just give up on art forever, or you become famous, which I talk about all the time. Like, those are just three options in the world of unlimited possibilities. And the more I lived, the more I did my research, the more I found people who inspire me, the easier it became to see other options, other ideas, and ways that I can use my creative gifts to share products, services with the world, and inevitably support me. If I was back 10 years before any of this was even a remote possibility, if I were to see myself in this space now, I would have been so excited to have so many questions. How is it working? How are you making it happen? Because I was very anxious when I was starting out. Believe it or not, now I've really learned to regulate my nervous system. But back in the day, I was so anxious all the time. I would be worried about money. I'd be worried about my student loans coming out. I'd be worried about what if no one buys my art. I'd be worried about getting evicted. I had all kinds of fears, and some of them actually ended up coming true, which liberated me, but that's a topic for another video. But today I want to talk about how we can support ourselves as artists and how, on average, the minimum I bring in is $10K a month. That is my bare bones that I don't even know if I can survive off of that. But that's not to say that you can't have an amazing and abundant life making $10K. So the reason I want to share that is because, one, I saw a bunch of creators on YouTube sharing their stats, and some of them are making 8K a month, some 13, some I don't know, 100K months. That's amazing. I hope all of us are abundant and bring in money joyfully and with integrity that supports us, whatever our goals are. Everyone's life is different, everyone's cost of living is different, so just keep those things in mind, because someone who lives in New York City or Tokyo or LA is gonna have a way higher cost of living than someone living in a smaller rural town, right? So just because someone's making that much doesn't mean they get to keep it, and you also don't know their expenses. But that's also a topic for another video. But if you're here, you're an artist or you're a creative entrepreneur and you're wondering how the heck do I make money doing what I love without burning out? Because my situation right now, and this is something that used to keep me up at night, is I'm getting ready for multiple exhibitions. I'm getting ready for 5 shows, as I mentioned in an earlier video. So I'm in here, I'm painting, I am preparing canvases, I am getting inspiration, right? It's not just come out of thin air. I'm looking at a lot of art books. I'm ordering books. I'm taking classes online to keep my mind fresh and receptive of any new content that needs to channel through me. But the thing is, though, is right now we're in my studio, I can't sell anything that I'm creating. I can, but it would make my life really hard, because come May and June, I gotta put these things on a wall, and if I don't have them, that can be a real problem, right? Now, when May and June come around and I have my show, I hope that I do my job well, and I know it's gonna be a great success, and I will get paid out a few months after that. So that is the one thing that no one ever talked to me about when I was starting out, partially because it was assumed that I would get a professor job or work in a museum, which, by the way, I tried and I got rejected from all of it, which was a blessing because now I got to pave my own way. So here are some ways that I personally, and some of the creators and some of my friends that I know, make ends meet every month, making 6 figures and beyond. So here's number 1. Obviously, we all start with original art, right? So original art is your sculptures, your photography, your paintings, your collages, your installations. And those are the things that you make, and it takes you time to make, and there's only usually one of a kind or maybe a limited edition. So that is how we start usually as artists. And that is great because that is really what we love, and probably most of us for the rest of our life even if we became financially independent, we would continue creating this. We would continue making our work because that is what we want to do. It's like telling a musician, it's like telling Beyonce, just because she has sold out tours and millions of albums sold, she should stop making music. Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's not driven by money. Our art is driven by something so deep, so primal, and so like connected to the divine, I think. That is just, it's such a blessing to both us and the people who get to interact with it. So the question then becomes, well, okay, well, if I want to become an exhibiting artist, or if I want to be more thoughtful with my work and I want to take time to create a collection of work before a show, or even before I launch it in my own shop, what do I do for income beyond that? And that's a great question. I'm so glad that you asked. And so for many of us, there's going to be different options. For some people, for some of my clients, I'm also a certified master coach, prints were a big thing. So prints are reproductions of your work, preferably higher quality, that you test and try and work with either a local printer or a sustainable, high quality on-demand printer that you vetted and tested. That you can sell reproductions of your work, and prints usually go between anywhere from $50 to $200 depending on the size, depending on the quality, depending on your career level or the limited edition number of them. I recently did a print launch in the Christmas season, and these prints were 16 by 20 and I sold them for around $150. So just to give you some context. So you can start by doing some number crunching. Let's say your goal initially, because you always want to start in a believable, achievable goal. Let's say your goal is to make 5K from your creative business or your art practice. I would start by calculating, like, how many originals do I need to sell a month? How many prints do I need to sell a month? Those are two really simple ways you can start, because you don't want to jump in right away and overwhelm yourself by all these projects before you even have a steady practice, before you even have a committed routine. And so I think it's really, really important to just start really simply, which is why we all start with our art, because that's what we want to do. And there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, I still have some friends who only sell either prints or originals. And outside of that, their other additional income streams are like real estate investing, renting out their properties, and some other things. But most of their income does come from those two things. So it's completely possible to make a healthy salary with those income streams. Now, for someone like me, I do have my hands in many pots, and I love it that way. It's taken me a long time to really fully embrace my multi-passionate nature. So someone like me, my situation is a little bit more unusual. But here are some other ways that I personally make money. So online education, and I actually started this with really affordable workshops, and this is something you can do if you have a skill. It doesn't even need to be related to your art practice, but let's say you are really, really good at social media, or let's say you are a king or a queen of account or bookkeeping, or you're just great with a spreadsheet and you want to help someone with that. Or maybe you just mastered amazing smoothie recipes. I don't know. It does not have to be art related, but for a lot of artists, it can be a mindfulness workshop or a virtual retreat, or it could be a step-by-step guide for how to paint something, or it could be something where you take your students through a program from A to B, for example, how to learn the basics of oil painting. That's just a very general example. And you can sell that directly from your website, or you can use an app like Teachable. I use Kajabi. I love Kajabi, and check out the show notes for a free 30-day trial of Kajabi. And you can sell that, you can record it, and you can sell it while you sleep, which I love. And actually, I've been transitioning a lot of my courses and workshops to Evergreen, which is called, when it's always available and people can always learn from you. Not only does it help me with kind of like filling the financial gaps, if there are any, but it also allows me to serve people day and night. So I don't have to show up live, and I don't have to take away time from the studio, which is already can be really challenging for me to get myself in here sometimes. Like today I didn't leave till 3 p.m. because I'm still recovering from this long COVID episode, and I'm just moving really slowly, but I don't have to stress out because I know that there's money coming in from my courses, from my ebooks, my memberships. Now, more advanced is if you have a passion for a certain topic, or you have a really interesting story you really feel called to share with the world, writing books or ebooks can be a really great income stream. Now, writing a book is not going to make you a millionaire unless you're already a celebrity, because it's kind of like one of those chicken before the egg things. But I can confidently tell you, if you write a book that people will get a lot of value from, when you teach them something or share something really interesting or really entertaining, right? You can either educate or entertain. If you're self-published, you will get more in royalties as long as you do a little promo each month. And what I'm really passionate about now is discovering more ways for artists and creative entrepreneurs to come up with passive income streams. Now, I personally don't believe there's such thing as 100% passive income. We do have to promote it or advertise it, and most of us starting out don't have a huge budget for ads. So we do have to pop in on social media or send a newsletter once in a while reminding people of our books, our courses, and things like that. But that is just really magical that we have this opportunity these days so that we can spend time focusing on our work and creating rather than constantly showing up and being, doing live demos. If live demos are your thing, that's awesome. Keep doing them. But it is wise to diversify and consider some ways that you can bring in passive income, while you're not actively selling or doing something like that. And you can do this through funnels, you can do this through like free PDF downloads. You've probably seen tons of people doing this already. So next time you're on social media or at your favorite coaches or educators website, just take a notice how they are doing it. The other thing you can do is to leverage, if you have a social media presence that's growing, things like Instagram and TikTok and even YouTube, have monetization options. Like, I'm pretty new to YouTube, and that is one of my only regrets, is I wish I popped in here sooner, but I also believe in divine timing. Now I have so much more to share, so it's really not that big of a deal. But you can monetize your social media platforms by taking advantage of paid bonuses. Like Instagram has paid bonuses for Reels for bigger accounts. So that is a thing. It's not gonna make you millions once again, but it can help bring in those extra few bucks every month to help you meet your financial goals. There's also affiliate links. So if you have a favorite art supply store brand, you can open up an Amazon influencer storefront where you can link some of your favorite books, art supplies, whatever you use, coffee, tools, tech, and you can link it and get a commission anytime someone buys it. So just some ideas for you, because this is precisely how I have been kind of bridging together those months where I'm not able to sell my art. And I don't have, I'm also a certified coach. I love coaching other artists and creative entrepreneurs, but at this stage of my life, I can't even offer one-on-one coaching because I'm busy painting. And the same thing happened while I was writing my book. So it's really important to start thinking ahead. Like, do you want to participate in bigger projects that take a lot of time and energy? And in that case, how can you replace that income or supplement that income that you might not be able to get through showing up live or teaching live or coaching live or doing commissions, for example, for a lot of artists? How can you create some things that are always available, like digital products, books, and stuff like that? So just some seeds to plant in your head is something I'm super passionate about. And also it helps me personally be more peaceful. There's no worse feeling for me than to put pressure on my art, to feel like that everything I need to make is a masterpiece, when in reality, I paint a lot and only a fraction of what I create turns out to be the next best thing. Now, we improve over time, and I absolutely believe in making more work. I think it's powerful, it's all practice, it's all an experiment. But I just don't want us to put pressure on our art, because it's a sacred and such a special gift to be able to create work. 2, it's not enjoyable and you're gonna wanna quit. I've had a season where I was constantly selling my art, and at first it felt really good. I'm like, oh, people want what I am selling. And then after a while, it was like, I don't wanna be this factory. I just wanna make art and I show it when I'm ready, in a series, with a story to tell, with a thought. And that has been a blessing because of me building these income streams. So on average, between my courses, between my books, between my brand partnerships, which maybe we'll get into in another episode, is where you can sell podcast ads, or we have a magazine, we have a blog, so you can sell placements on your website or blog or podcast or even your social media to other brands with a budget. So between that, coaching, online courses and education, my books and ebooks, my original art sales, sometimes prints. I don't do prints a lot. And then other bonuses like affiliates, like when I promote someone else's program or course or business or an art fair, I actually get paid sometimes through a relationship that we established. And so that has been a real big blessing. Like sometimes this month I was sick a lot, I had COVID, and I would wake up and there would be like $400 in my PayPal just from my affiliate relationships. So my point of this video is to, from my perspective, do what you want to do, it's your life, but from my perspective, there's nothing more liberating than taking the pressure off making your art like the money maker. It's gonna happen. You're gonna sell your work, you're gonna make money off of it, but while you're getting ready, while you're preparing your work, doesn't it feel good to still be financially supported? So that way you're not getting mad at your art for not making bajillions. To me, that was the biggest blessing and breakthrough, which actually in the long run made my art stronger. So by no means am I saying that artists can't make money from their art. You absolutely should, you will, you can, and you will, especially if you give yourself some space to focus on creating quality work. But the other part of my argument is to protect your mental health, protect your well-being, and through building additional income streams, through building financial abundance, you will be able to create better work. You won't have as much pressure, your nervous system will be calm so you can focus more on creative thinking, and there's so many other benefits. Plus, like let's say you want to take a break, go on vacation, you can, because you have money coming in and you don't have to worry. And that is what I want for all of you. So being a self-employed, full-time artist or creator is 100% possible. It does take time, so be patient with yourself. Everything I just listed, from my brand deals to my online courses, it did take me a really long time to build, in some cases years. So start with the most simple, the most obvious, and then layer on, and with care and with thought and quality, you can create amazing, abundant business for yourself. I hope this was helpful. Drop any questions you have for me in the notes in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes from me. And I look forward to sharing some painting videos with you soon.